Alright, this is a video to show some workarounds, some tips on weapon skills, UI issues, etc. I put it on Tourist. I don't play on Tourist, I'm just doing this for the it's a demonstration video, not like a show how much damage you could do video. There will be some advanced tips at the end, but for PS users, I can't speak for PC users, but I've seen beginners play this game and they're really struggling with the user interface, using weapon skills and stuff like that. So first, let's talk about a few glitches. Sometimes when you're wandering around, I think it has something to do with if one of your characters are using a lot of drug buffs. What happens is later on you go to the map and it turns, like you see how this shadow is right here. It'll be like that from all sides, so the screen will be very dark and it'll be hard to see what's going on. Not all the time, but most of the time you just go to the menu and then you go like this, switch characters, switch back to the character you were originally, and then just that fixes it. This also works for a few other things. When you load into another map after the loading screen, your team can't move.
Good luck out there.
Just go to the menu, same thing, switch characters, switch back, and then you can move. That happens sometimes even if you aren't loading into a new area. Also on the world map, when you're driving the car around, your car will become invisible. If that happens, what I've done is I save the game and it doesn't seem to be a problem. I don't think I've ever had a problem. I just save the game. You could either turn it off and reload to be safe, or you can again do this, switch to a character, switch back to your original character, and then that fixes it. But if you want to be safe, you could save and then go to the main menu and then reload your save. Also, sometimes when you try to talk to somebody, they'll turn towards you like they want to talk to you, but they can't. When that happens, save your games, make sure you haven't lost any progress, go to the main menu, then go reload to your save, and you should be fine. I'm going to do a quick save for this, in case I need to reload to demonstrate some things in combat. Okay, so this same trick works for a lot of things in the game. Let's talk about weapon skills. Weapon skills are very powerful. A lot of them lower your aim, but they provide really powerful abilities like shooting twice, shooting double amounts of bullets, you know, when you're using automatic weapons. Sometimes they're hard to use in the user interface. Also, let me get first aid on somebody. Get that on Marshal Kwan. Give him overhealing. I don't know why exactly this happens sometimes. Might have something to do with overhealing. But sometimes when you want to heal yourself, I'm not saying it's going to happen right now, but there are times where you want to heal just yourself and they'll try to heal like an animal far away or something. When stuff like that happens, click L3. That's the direction pad on the left side. Click that in, push it in like a button, and now you have a cursor. This is like a kind of like a mouse if you're using PC. So now you have this cursor, and you can do things like highlight things. If you press up, you can look at the stats of the enemies. This is really useful if you want to check and say, hey, what do these status effects do? What did I do to them? Or what did they do to me? Do this on your own character too and press up. So yeah, if you're having trouble doing that, or Animal Whisper, or a weapon skill, you know, you can do it like this if you're having trouble. Also, if you want to yeah, if you want to heal animals, like you have an animal follower, sometimes you're having a problem healing him. If it's being difficult, just again press L3, brings up this cursor. This is really useful. When you're in combat, you can move the cursor around. And let me go ahead and get in combat. I think Quan's gonna complain, I don't know.
Time for a reckoning.
Is it in tourist? I think it's on tourist. Okay, this isn't like, I wasn't actually playing with this team. They haven't been fighting or anything. So like, okay, weapon skills. I believe on PC, at least in earlier patches, you were able to crit with heavy attack. I've never been able to get a critical with a brawler on the first attack. Only the second or third or after that. Even if I have over 100% crit chance. I don't know why it's like that, maybe for balance reasons, but I think it's good that it is like that, because brawling is has the potential to be far more powerful than blade or blunt. It's just easier to use, it's just more damage per AP, per action point, just better. So yeah, heavy attack on a brawling weapon, not only do you not get a combo meter from it, it's just, it doesn't crit. And if it does, you would have to build up like a combo meter first, so. Yeah, I don't use heavy attack with the brawling weapons, I use it with melee and blunt weapons. You can apply a brawling combo meter on an enemy even if you don't have a weapon. You can do it with just your fist. So if you want to lower an enemy's aim, you don't even need a brawling weapon to do it, you just can do it with a fist. So yeah, you can lower enemies' armor that way. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is assault rifle if you have puncturing shot. This is not only a debuff, but you can hit multiple enemies with one attack. Sometimes Marshal Quan starts out with sneaky shit, which gives him sneak attack damage. Automatic weapons really aren't the best sneak attack weapons, but if you want, you can do good damage. Sometimes you can hit up to 4 or 5 enemies if you position your character well enough and you have enough range on your assault rifle, and you get your crit damage and base damage really high. You can actually kill a lot of enemies at once with a puncturing shot. So this can be used offensively and defensively. Back to weapon skills though. So let's say I wanted to use center mass, but right now I'm trying to let's see, let me go here. See, this is what I'm talking about. Right now I'm targeting this guy, but I want to move over to these guys. I'm trying to move over to the left side of the screen. It's being difficult, right? I eventually can get there if I keep, you know, moving the paddle back and forth. If you don't want to do that, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't, what you can do is, see, when I hit regular attack, there's not a problem with moving around most of the time. You just move it around and you can toggle different enemies. But with the weapon skills, it seems to be a problem. So do is you just target, you move this around, and you target the enemy, and then you open up this screen, and then select center mass, and see how it's on them. Also, again, you can press L3. Oh wait, no, I can't. The L3 is only in exploration. When you're in combat, you can't do the L3 trick. So again, target the enemy. And I'm not suggesting that center mass is a good tactical choice here because you'd be losing damage, losing crit chance. But, you know, let's say it was a snapshot or some other weapon skill. It's a good example. Snapshot. Let's get her into snapshot position. This isn't a good weapon for this because it's not like modified, but if I wanted to snapshot, right now it's not being difficult, but again, you saw earlier Quan was having trouble switching from this side to over here. So you highlight them and then select your weapon skill if you're having a problem. If you're not having a problem, then it's no big deal. Let me reload her weapon. Risky shot. See, this is I'm trying to switch enemies and it's becoming a problem. So again, move to the enemy you want to attack and then you can select the weapon skill. It seems to be when you're going left to right, but this just happens sometimes for different situations. With melee, same thing. The melee weapons have very powerful weapon skills. If you want to make a melee character, after the latest patches, it's harder to get critical hit chance as high as it used to be. The weapon mods on the like these handles, the crit ones max out at 6 now, 6% critical hit chance. In the earlier patches, it was 15% critical hit chance. Also, intelligence doesn't give as much critical hit chance as it used to. The cat buffs don't give as much critical hit chance as they used to. The focus drug does not give as much critical hit chance as it used to. And there may be some other things too. But so it's harder to get your critical hit chance as high as it used to be. But this heavy attack is additive, meaning if you have 0 critical hit chance, it'll be 70%. If it was multiplicative, then let's say you had 10% crit chance and then you use this, it would increase it to 17%. So even without having a high critical hit chance, using heavy attack or risky shot is also functions the same way. It's a really good way to give you a chance to get a critical. Crit damage multipliers are very high in this game. So, see, it says no targets in range. No targets in range. And I think this is what discourages a lot of people from using these weapon skills, because they believe they're not going to be able to. Bleeding strike is in range. Say I want to bleeding strike this person. See, I select them. This is not a weapon skill, this is a perk, bleeding strike, that you take in the melee tree. So I select them and then go to this wheel. The circle opens up the defend, ambush, and prepare option. I didn't mean to do that. That's why it's on tourist, so I can re-show things. Trick shot. Yeah, so let me just skip. I wanna show the melee skill. They're not gonna be able to do a lot of damage. So. Oh, it's on tourist, but they're still doing a lot of damage. Okay, it's fine. That guy just hits really hard, even though it's on tourist. Okay. Don't let the fact that my team sucks discourage you from getting advice from me. I am an expert on the combat in this game. This is just a demonstration video. These aren't the teams I'm using when I play. I don't even need a team. I just use one guy to fight. Okay, so let's see. He's gonna have to get enough action points, but I wanted to show you heavy attack. I was not able to, just select that and then run to a character. So you either have to run in range of the character and then use heavy attack, or you target the character like this. He's out of range right now, and then pick heavy attack like that. But again, you don't have enough action points. At the bottom it shows you. Also, if you're a beginner, I recommend reading the tutorials. It can be kind of overwhelming, especially if you're in the middle of battle, and may seem kind of boring, but if you don't know how to use the UI, you're really going to be struggling to understand the game, and it'll just be frustrating. You'd be like, why can't I attack? Because you don't have enough action points. Or why can't I defend? Or why can't I do this? The tutorial explains these things. You could always turn it off later. Tutorial's on. See? So yeah, it's really helpful. This is the guy that did a lot of damage. Gary Wolf. Okay, let me just kill him. This would be a good opportunity to explain Stormer. Stormer, and also let me put the perk in the character. Do I have a book? Brawling. Jody Bell actually has enough points. Use her to demonstrate these weapon skills. Pursuit. This also functions like Stormer in a way. As far as how it works, you can save Stormer. You can save Stormer and Pursuit for the next turn. I believe Pursuit can give you a bonus to your ambush attack. No, wait, it can't, actually, because you would need action points to execute your ambush attack. Yeah, it might still work. I'm not sure about that. But Pursuit and Stormer can be carried over to your next turn. This is really effective if you're trying to solo the game. It's kind of like putting a free action point in the bank. Not only can you carry it over to your next turn, but you can do it twice per turn. By carrying one over to your next turn, on that next turn you can use it in the beginning and then activate it again. So that's useful. Talking about free attacks here. So for Stormer to activate, it used to be it only worked for SMGs. The video's crashing, I don't know why.